Please welcome a very special speaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, give it up for Tower. Thank you all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is B.J. Lange. I'm an actor, comedian, and retired United States Air Force medic. Thank you. More importantly, I'm also a two-time testicular cancer survivor. I don't think my testicles have ever got that many applause in their lives. Like most comedians, comedy is my coping mechanism. It is both my defense mechanism and my uncomfortably awkward, I've officially had more doctors than intimate partners examine my man rocks mechanism. However, as most of us in this room are familiar with, some things aren't that easy to make fun of. In July of 2015, I was put on active orders from my part-time job in the Air Force Reserve. That September, during the completion of my very challenging Air Force medic program, the ground began to shake. From this moment, everything happened so fast. My first ever surgery, a left radical orchiectomy, an official cancer diagnosis, and chemotherapy, all completed by the end of 2015. I wasn't very worried because I had faith in the military, my doctors, and of course, myself. I approached my first diagnosis like a military mission. What were the objectives? What tasks must I complete? And boom, 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 I knocked them out, and I thought for sure I was going to be back in California doing my drill weekends very soon. My cancer at that time, it wasn't really that big of a deal to me. And to be honest, I didn't really think that much about it. But the military did. In May of 2016, I underwent a medical evaluation board to determine the future that I had in the Air Force. Suddenly, my future wasn't in my control. After a very mentally and challenging med board process, the Air Force determined that I was not currently fit to serve, and in July of 2016, I was placed on temporary medical retirement. Maybe this whole cancer thing was more serious than I thought. I returned home feeling heartbroken, physically and mentally broken, and unaccomplished. For the first time in my life, I was anxious, depressed, but I hid behind my comedy. This is where things really changed for me. On one hand, I was happy to be home with the love that I have of acting, but on the other hand, I came home different than when I left. I was balancing transitioning into civilian life and all the mental and physical side effects of a cancer diagnosis. New struggles emerged, understanding the VA system, getting healthcare established, and finally, taking a few minutes to actually realize what on earth just happened. My God, I had cancer, and I'm a survivor, and I'm a veteran. A year later, during my one-year CT scan, the boogeyman came out of the closet. My cancer had returned, and it was now in my lymph nodes. I was facing another course of therapy, including radiation. On the outside, I remained a source of inspiration for my friends and my family, but on the inside, I was scared to death. I secluded myself and began to have a lot of negative thoughts, although donuts did make me feel a lot better. I gained a lot of weight. My primary care physician at the VA suggested I see mental health. I laughed. Nah, come on, I'm a man. I was in the military. I'm tough. I work medical. I got this. I'm cool. I was lying to myself, and she and I both knew it. I couldn't sleep. I was anxious, depressed, and sick, mentally and physically. Laying down to sleep at night turned into a fight with myself. I couldn't turn my brain off between puking, and there were swirling thoughts going through my head. Could I have kids? Will I get back in the Air Force? Will anyone want to be with me? Will these treatment side effects last forever? There were so many negative thoughts that I had. You are so broken. You're sick. Your friends don't want to see you like that. Your body looks weird. You're lazy. Why aren't you fighting harder? Will I ever be the man that I used to be? What if this comes back? Ultimately, thoughts really scared me. What if this pain never stops? Am I going to die? I need rest. It would be okay if I wasn't here. But back to my list, some things really, truly frighten me more than others, like how on earth did the Clippers outplay the Lakers this season? All jokes aside, 2 years ago I was in the best shape of my life, and I was so damn proud. And now, well, I'm not. I'm a group of symptoms that comprise the collateral damage of a cancer diagnosis. My heart and soul in the Air Force was taking care of patients, taking care of my patients, and now I'm the patient. What was happening? The VA diagnosed me with PTSD, major depressive disorder, anxiety, and insomnia. On top of that, I got a traumatic brain injury, neuropathy, nerve damage, migraines, and hearing loss. Then while on disability, my part-time job of 12 years let me go when I was in the middle of treatments. And then the woman I began seeing just before my relapse, when in the middle of treatments, stopped seeing me. Now, in all fairness, I probably shouldn't have barfed on her shoes. They were very nice shoes. When people hear the word survivor, many people imagine a life that's free from cancer. The reality is that none of us who have ever battled cancer are never really free. There are many casualties, including physical and emotional symptoms, relationships, careers, and we're never really free from the fear. But there is good news. Thank God there's some good news. I experienced things that I never would have otherwise. New opportunities arose. I became enrolled in the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, and I'm now using my desire to serve my country in ways that I simply could not have otherwise in years ago. But thanks to the generosity of people like you, many more people are surviving cancer in treatments. Well, they're becoming less toxic. Whatever your cancer question is, the answer is always research. Research to create more personalized treatments that reduce the collateral damage and reduce the casualties, and research to help end the fear. Thank you for your attention and being here tonight. Your presence is appreciated, and it's making a difference. I'm BJ Lange. I'm a cancer fighter, and I'm thankful for Tower.
Wow. Come on back out, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big hand for BJ? Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for telling your story and the courage to share that with 1,000 of your best friends tonight. Thank you so much. One more hand for BJ, ladies and gentlemen.